Today on Think Deepa, I sit down with an artist, an athlete, influencer, entrepreneur, multifaceted powerhouse.
I forget this, I just want to give up, and that's just fear. The key thing was to prove to the world that I was the best.
Self-belief is just everything.
Have you got the courage to look impossible in the face and say, you know what, I'm still going to give it a go?
You've got a better chance of achieving your goals.
Being number one is easy, staying number one is the hardest.
I always knew I had a bit of an issue with alcohol.
In the first half, my mother was alive. In the second half, she wasn't.
You think your problems are just going to vanish.
We've all been sort of brainwashed.
I think we're all at war with our minds.
Why not make you come alive?
Just be your authentic self, surrender to the outcome.
If your why runs through your veins, it's part of your soul, it's part of your being, and it's in every cell of you, then you will always find a way.
If you believe in yourself, nothing can stop you.
Welcome to the podcast. She refuses not to be boxed in. So as you listen tonight, ask yourself, where in your own life have you been holding back your voice? Please welcome to the stage, OneDa.
Hey,
Where's your mic?
I might talk.
No, you still need another mic. You have that. Okay, so thanking you. So for people that don't know, the format is quite unique in that I have a singing bowl here, and the singing bowl has some words in it that we place at random, and OneDa will pick from those words, and then we will talk about whatever that word that has come up. And the idea is that we don't necessarily know where this conversation will start or will end, and there is some sense of authenticity to the connection that we actually have. You look nervous.
I'm not gonna lie, you didn't tell me anything about this bowl and anything. I felt. Anyway, I'll go with it.
But you love singing bowls, and you love that whole.
I love singing.
I
Bowl
love
separate.
singing.
To be fair, I do like singing bowls. I love a singing bowl.
Okay, so I'm going to play the bowl.
All right, cool.
Going to align our energies, and then we're going to get cracking.
All right, cool. Let's go.
I'm going to place it right here.
Okay.
So if you can pick your first word, please, OneDa.
Stuff in this. There's only one thing in this.
Don't be so greedy.
No, it is. Volume.
Volume. So when we talk about turning up volume for you, what are you, because you've been on such an incredible journey, and I know we'll hit some of those benchmarks through the time, but what is it that you're wanting to turn up now in this next chapter of your life?
This next chapter of my life, I'm trying to turn up everything really, but the main thing is independence. That's what I'm trying to turn up, my independence and my autonomy. So yeah, simply it's being in control, like fully in control, because you know, Deepa, there's been times in my career where I felt way out of it. I felt like on the other side of my career, I'm looking into it. So now it's all about that full control.
Can you tell us a little bit about that challenge that you've had? What you can, I know there's stuff you can't say, but
yeah, just obviously being with a label and being with a manager and sort of having your creativity controlled in a way, and pushed back, and sort of the manager side of thing kind of manipulated into dependence rather than
Turning down your volume.
Turning my volume right down to the point where it turned me down as a person. Like, Deepa, you know me. I'm full of life. I'm full of energy. Nearly said I am back to being full of life, full of energy. But there was a point where it turned me down so much to where I was a shell of my former self, shell of who I was. So I had to find that volume again. I had to find that essence, that power again, and turn myself. I had to crank myself back up by myself. You know what I mean? Instead of relying on everyone else. It's a point that, but at the same time, it was needed because sometimes on this journey, when you've got that sort of mindset and when you believe in your power and you're out there giving love and everything, you sort of you're blinded a little bit by the fact that everyone is not like you sometimes, and some people that are around you is to watch out for. It's not really to embrace as they are like you, and it's taught me so many lessons. So yeah, I had to turn my volume down, but now it's way up where people are telling me, maybe like neighbors are like banging on my door and everything.
Neighbors. It's got to be better than neighbors. Come on.
Well, that's all. I can't do another joke now. I've already done one. Like, come out. I can't do another one. That's it.
You played at Glastonbury, which
twice.
is incredible. Round of applause, everyone. Manchester-born rapper playing at Glastonbury, amazing. What was that like? That was, I mean, the volume there's.
Yeah, that was incredible. The first year that I did Glastonbury as well, I played 6 stages and I was there for 7 days. So
wow.
on the last performance, the other 5 performances smashed it. It was sick. Like it was just incredible. Being in Glastonbury, it's a whole nother world. I know people say that, but you have to be there to realize it's not like you in the UK. It's different. Yeah. I don't know. It's got its own vibe. So, I did 6 in 7 days on my last performance. Couldn't speak to where I was rapping. I had to tell my hype man, take over. It was so embarrassing. Next time I'm not doing 6 performances in 7 days. I'm not. Like,
well, you're much bigger now, so you definitely won't be doing that with me. You'd be like headline.
Come on. So the second year I did BBC introducing stage. I did a lot less. I did 3 performances in 6 days. So yeah, that was kind of.
Now, you know the whole theme of the podcast is about what people will learn from your journey. When you've worked and you've worked with so many different artists and the music that you've created so far, what can you tell everyone in the room here about how important it is to use your voice?
It's incredibly important to use your voice. Not just use your voice, but believe the voice that you're using. That's the most important thing. Like, your voice is it's a continuation or a reflection of our inner beings. And when we use our voice as well, it creates things. Our voices, our power, our tongues are power. So also, as well as using your voice, watch what you're using your voice for, because you can either bring good
abundance,
good shit into your life, or you can be pushing all of that away. And it's just depending on what you say and what you think about as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, your voice is very, very important. And also just for inspiring people as well. The more that we tell people about our journeys and not keep it in isolation, because a lot of people think, oh, if I tell people about my journey, it'll seem like I'm bragging, seem like I'm this. No, people need to hear that. People need to be able to have something inspired to, or to see something. If you don't know something's possible, you will never believe it's possible. I don't know if I said that saying right. Anyway, that's how I say it.
It's your saying.
So I say, but sometimes you have to see it to achieve it, see it to be able to then think of it in your head. And even if you expand it, that's even better, but yeah.
So if anybody in the room is holding back on anything, and you know, if we were all honest with ourselves, we know that this happens. There's things that we know we should be doing and we're not doing. So for anybody that is holding back, what would you say to them?
Just go ahead and go and do it. Like, don't procrastinate. Just go out there. A little bit off topic. I went away to New York. I've just come back for 4 weeks, guys. I've been training, doing my deep plumping, and I procrastinated, and I haven't trained for the last 4 weeks. And that's me telling myself, oh, you can do it tomorrow, or you can, don't worry, do it tomorrow, have this drink, or don't worry. I did that for 4 weeks, guys. Who does that for 4 weeks? I was training like every single day practically. And I'm telling myself, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Until I had to tell myself, like, no, if you want the change, you have to, do you know what I mean? Get up and be disciplined. So it's the same thing. We have to tell ourselves what we want in life and go for it. Don't let that procrastination side of your brain tell you, nah, it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. Go for it. Power's in
Great
now.
words, powerful words. Let's pick another word.
Other things in this, why can't I? These are the thinnest pieces of paper ever that she chose. Signal.
Signal. Growing up, were you always able to express yourself?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think growing up, I was just a shell. I was hidden within because of my environment, because of my parents, because of the culture, the religion.
What happened?
Just as I grew up, I grew up in a very Christian household, like a very, very strict Christian household. And not just Christian, Nigerian. And when you put Christian Nigerian together, then that's the next different type of gravy. It's not even normal Christianity, guys. It's some next thing. So the strictness is, whew. So I've been into women all my life. I've been gay all my life, and I kind of knew I was gay all my life, but I was taught and I actually believed that I wasn't. And it's that deep to where you start to think that I thought I was just had like demons like oppressing me, or it's witchcraft. My mom used to say it's witchcraft and stuff like that. Don't worry, tell the devil to leave you alone. So I used to be like, devil, leave me alone. And now I realize that, whoa, like they were trying, you know what I mean? And I guess I understand that that's their belief, but it wasn't the devil, it's me. And that's what I realized. Like I am who I am. I can't be who you want me to be, or who you want me to be, or that person wants me to be. No matter how sometimes it might hurt me to think, oh, mom, you like maybe I don't know if you don't love me the same way or whatever, but I've disappointed you in some way. But my main thing is to make myself proud. I can't make you proud and disappoint myself. That's craziness.
Yeah.
And if I went by what you wanted me to be and not what I wanted me to be, then I'm letting myself down, and I can never, ever do that.
Do you think music was the first place where you could really be honest? Is that where it began?
100%, but still to an extent, because I still can talk about like my loves and stuff like that. Like when I was first doing music and I would talk about any loves, it would be directed at a guy, even though that wouldn't be mine. But it was only because if my mum and dad heard it, man, I get beats. I'm not joking.
Because you do have a gorgeous daughter, don't you?
Yeah, I have a daughter, and the thing that it's like it's touchy for me because I believe like it's my parents that were trying to mold me into something that I wasn't, but at the same time, that's why it's weird, because if they didn't, I wouldn't have my daughter, and I wouldn't know what I'd do if I didn't have my daughter. So it's a mad one, because if they would have let me run in my lesbianism from like 13 years old, I wouldn't have
I love that, lesbianism. You made it sound very exotic.
Well, it is exotic, I'm not joking. I'll tell you all about that.
I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, if they would have let me run in that, then I wouldn't have had my daughter. So that's why sometimes it baffles my brain when I think about it. So was I supposed to listen? Was I not supposed to listen? But then at the same time, that's why the power of now.
What helped you trust your own voice, though? Because when other people are not believing it, what does it take?
I think it was an awakening, Deepa. I think you sort of knew me around the time when I had that awakening. Because before that, I didn't know where I was. I was here, there, and everywhere. Like I was sort of, people saw me and thought, yeah, OneDa's a cool person. OneDa knows what she's doing. But at the same time, I didn't have a stable base. Until that time when, and it's mad, I had an awakening, an actual awakening, where I used to be, the day before my awakening, or a few hours before my awakening, I was the sort of girl that I was scared of the dark all my life. Until the age of 30, I was scared of the dark. And I used to be scared or embarrassed telling people I was scared of the dark. But I mean, to the point where I could not, like, unless I had a partner sleeping next to me or someone in the room, I had to have my TV on all night and all the lights on. Because I was so terrified. I was terrified of spiders. I had so many and I had so many just inhibitions where I was the sort of person, like, if you didn't like something that I was doing or I was wearing, I'd go home and think, oh, how can I make this better? Or how can, do you know what I mean?
People pleasing.
Yeah. I remember saying yes to loads of things that I didn't want to do. I used to say yes and just used to think, oh, now I have to do this now. And then I used to think, like, why did I say yes?
But then what changed?
What changed? I had an awakening.
What happened in the awakening?
In the awakening, so it's a bit of a weird one. So I wasn't sleeping. I was doing my masters at this time. I was in uni doing my masters. This was about 5 years ago, I'd say. So I do my masters. I was in my room and I wasn't sleeping for about a month. This went on for I wasn't sleeping for about a week. I was waking up at about 3, 4 every single morning for this week. And on the last day, I think it's like the Friday, my best friend's brother sent me a video. And it said 12 laws of the universe that will change your life. As soon as I saw it, I thought witchcraft, because that's obviously that was one.
That was your mum talking.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously. But then I also thought to myself, this is a 45-minute long video, and I couldn't sleep. So I did just think, just put it on anyway, and it'll just bore you to sleep. So I put it on, and within like 5 minutes, I jumped up. At this time I was doing my masters, so I had like a desk with all like my workbooks and everything and pens there. So I jumped up out my bed, got like a notebook and a pen, came back into bed and like rewound it to the beginning and started again. By the time the 45 minutes had finished, I was crying, but I mean crying to where the deepest tears that I've ever cried in my life. It's like I was a baby again. I was blubbering, but my body was shaking, like every single thing on that I believed. But it's like I was thinking, why didn't anyone tell me about, like, this is what the world was about? Why didn't anyone tell me that I could just think things, believe it, and it would happen? Why didn't anyone tell me I can do whatever I want?
You've got a formula.
Oh my days. It was like...
Hence why we have
Formula OneDa, come on.
Which is actually the last word.
Shall I go to the last word?
Yeah.
Deepa, do you know what Deepa's saying now? You're talking too much. Trying to style it, I know, Deepa, innit? I'll go to the last word. Yeah, that wasn't going to be a lot.
It was just a perfect segue. I mean,
it was, to be fair. It does say formula, to be fair.
Yeah,
so I'll let you off, Deepa, I'll let you off. All right, so this one does say formula.
Thanks. But talk to us about Formula OneDa.
Yeah, so Formula OneDa was... basically, it stems from my whole awakening, and my whole formula now to life is believe in yourself. You can achieve anything. So even though I was wearing like a Formula One outfit and stuff like that, that's just a metaphor for it. Really, it's my formula for life. Is believe in yourself. Whatever you think up here, you can create. We can either destroy our lives or create our lives, and it all starts from up here. And that's what Formula OneDa is all about. That's my formula to life.
Love that.
Yeah, I don't really like. I've never really watched Formula One racing or anything.
But
actually, don't tell them that. Actually, don't, because they put me on the playlist and all stuff like that. I do love Formula One as well.
Because what I was about to say was her music videos got her in a blue racing track outfit, as if she's some kind of racing car driver. So
I do
God
a little
knows
bit
what
like Formula One.
Thank you so much. Now, OneDa's story reminds us that expression is not always about being the loudest person in the room. Sometimes it's just about being honest. Honest about what we want, honest about what we feel, honest about the version of ourselves and the ones that we are tired of hiding. So now what I'd like you to do is take a few minutes, just take stock of what OneDa said, all that information. Grab your journals if you haven't already, so that we could move. And the slide will give you now some prompts to work from. So the first question here for you, we've just talked about signal, which is about hearing what is true for you. We've talked about formula, which is about questioning the path that you were told to follow. And then volume, which is about expressing more of who you really are. What I'd like to do now is I'd like you to look at where in your life are you holding yourself back? Now, this might be in your work, this might be in your confidence, it might be in your creativity, it might be a relationship, potentially a conversation that you might be avoiding. Just don't overthink it. Really just write whatever comes into your head. The idea here is that you're connecting back with yourself, and it's almost like holding a mirror. So the first honest thing that comes into your mind, that's what you'll write. Doesn't need to be essays either, guys. Like, literally, this is just... So, is it a conversation that you've been avoiding? Is it a meeting at work, a conversation with your boss, a conversation with your partner, your husband, a family member? Is it a conversation with yourself? Is there something you want to tell yourself that you've been holding back on? Because we think staying in a safe space that's familiar is right, when in actual fact, we can teach our brain new neurological pathways and show them that you can do things differently. Just because it's unfamiliar and because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean you can't do that. That is your biggest area of growth. Okay, moving on to what do I want to express more honestly? So that's the next prompt. That now could be a feeling, could be a boundary, could be an idea, could be a truth, a part of you that has been too quiet. Just have a think about what it might be that you would now like to express more honestly. And then I would like you to complete the sentence. I'm ready to turn up the volume on. I mean, if you didn't have any inspiration or motivation after that conversation with OneDa, God knows. So what are you ready to turn the volume up on? When you know what that is, I would love for you, and I would invite you to take out your phones and make a promise, either in a calendar entry or a reminder entry, of what that one action is that you will be doing to turn up the volume. So if it's picking that phone up to somebody, or sending that person a message, or completing that assignment for work, then what is it? And let's take action now, because it's no good sitting in a book. It needs to be done. So think of something that you have been holding back on, that you want to now change, and you want to actively do something about. Lots of discussions going on. I like that. I'm loving the fact that you're even sharing your moments. You realize when you tell somebody else, it actually means you're going to have to do it, because now they're accountable for making that happen. Bless you. Okay, so tonight, OneDa's story has reminded us that your voice is not just about sound. It's about truth, it's about choice, and it's about the moment you stop shrinking parts of yourself just to make other people comfortable. Signal asked us to listen to ourselves, Formula asked us to question the path we were told to follow, and Volume asked us to express who we really are. So whatever you wrote in your journal tonight, don't leave it on the page, as I said. give it an action, a movement, and a voice. And if you're watching this episode, let us know in the comments what you were ready to turn the volume up on. Please also don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Share this conversation. Thank you, OneDa, for bringing your truth, your energy, and your voice into the Think Deeper room. Thank you, OneDa.
Thanks, Deepa. Can I keep these?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. And now, oh, I like that. We are about to continue our very special evening by welcoming our next guest to the stage.
Yeah.
If you can please give a huge Think Deeper welcome to Fabrice Muamba. Oh. Hi.
Hi.
I love that tune.
Nice.
I was not even surprised when I got
Nah,
that as your request. I was like, of course he would have that. Okay, so moving on with our live. We are now welcoming former Premier League footballer, coach, speaker, and father, Fabrice Muamba. Born in Kinshasa, Fabrice arrived in the UK as a child, built a new life through education and football, and went on to play for Arsenal, Birmingham City, and Bolton Wanderers. But his story became much bigger than football when in 2012 he suffered a cardiac arrest on the pitch and his heart stopped for 78 minutes. Since then, Fabrice has had to rebuild not just a career, but an identity, a purpose, a life after the life he thought he was going to have. So as you listen tonight, ask yourself, what part of your story are you learning to live with, and what could it become? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
It's an absolute honor. I've known you a while. Oh, was that an uncomfortable?
No, because it's just, to me, I'm just Fabrice, and not like.
You are. But that's why we love you.
You know.
So many people in this room were like, "What? How did you get Fab?" I was like, "Oh, Fab. Wow."
Yeah.
Personal.
With Fab is when you know me. Then
Yeah.
But anything
People
else
clearly in this room think they know you, so that's a good thing.
That's nice to know.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm going to do our ritual, which is I'm going to play the bowl.
Okay.
And then you're going to pick words from the bowl.
All
right. I'm going to shuffle the words up a little bit. Seeing as though Wanda was like, okay. So Fab, if you would, am I allowed to call you Fab?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. Didn't really give you a choice, did I? Just call it you anyway. If you could please pick the first word.
Wow. Passport.
Passport. So you came to the UK when you were a child.
Yeah.
What do you remember about trying to find your place in a world that was really unknown to you?
For me, when I came to the UK, because obviously my father being a political refugee, so the way of me navigating the country was just purely of being education. There was no two ways about it, and that's my passport, to be able to learn a new language, to be able to integrate myself from the British culture, from my culture, and learn about how to live with different people from different society, different background, and coming to England has really taught me that, and how to, come to a country where in the Congo we only speak French, and in England you speak English. So it's much more of a starting all over again, and how do I make friends? How do I, involve it in life, really?
Do you think football became your first language that
football,
you connected to even before English did?
Football was my passport. Football was my
love that.
My opened door to many opportunities. So in school, if you know the tall African boy, that's Fabrice. So that everybody knows that's Fabrice, the African boy who can play football. I made a lot of friends via football. I learned English playing football. I learned the nasty side of English playing football.
Anything you want to share at this
no,
point?
it's just like obviously like the swearing word. I learned it from football, and from there, that's how I was able to communicate with a lot of people because football has helped me to open the gate in so many ways on how to understand in English culture and society and so many stuff really.
Let's pick another word. Pulse. So pulse for me is, I want to talk about, you went to a scan today.
Yeah.
How was that for you? You did the Neco Health scan today.
Yeah. Obviously, when you stop playing, your body kind of changed a little bit. So, was I disappointed? No, I wasn't disappointed because I feel like I did okay in terms of my body shape and whatever. But it was interesting to see how the medical side of stuff, where it can show you all the detail in terms of your heartbeat and how things that I didn't probably ignore.
Because you heard your heartbeat, didn't you?
Yeah, when I go to do my ECG, I always hear it. So to actually get...
I thought it was saying something like really cool there, because when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, I can hear my heart.
No, but then what this one gives you actually the more detail of it, so which is that's the special part, just getting the detail of it.
How important is it as an athlete, particularly when we talk about, they're quite obsessed with monitoring preventative health and recovery and nutrition.
Yeah. I mean, nutrition is literally the number one priority. If you are taking the right intake in your body, you'll be able to perform at the highest level. And I think it's very difficult when you were playing than when you stop playing. Because when you're playing, you're in a very strict diet and everybody's telling you need to eat this, and your body fat needs to be at this percentage. Whereas when you stop playing, it's free flow. Like, hey, listen, time to catch
You're just feasting.
Yeah, because the stuff that you were able to eat then, you're able to eat it now. So, but it's just more of a...
It helps that you have a wife that cooks incredible food.
Listen,
so,
I'm very fortunate that my wife, she's an amazing cooker. And I mean, like...
She's an amazing person, but you're right.
That she's like, she is by far the best cooker. So I can't ask for any more in terms of...
So she is her fault, basically.
I wouldn't say it's her fault, but it's like more of like when we want to eat like strictly diet food, it's absolutely like nice and clean. Then sometimes we just have to, all of us ask for, can we just go for it, like the burgers or that kind of stuff. So
I mean, we'll talk about what happened to you, but do you think that having preventative measures like that in terms of what Neco are doing would help there not be another cardiac arrest on the pitch?
I think it will actually give you an indication of if you are at that level in terms of like your health, or if your health is not into a certain standard. They'll give you that feedback that, listen, you need to sort this side of your body out in order for you to live longer or to prevent this kind of accident.
Amazing. Let's pick another word.
Oh God.
Blueprint. So as a coach now, what are you trying to instill in youngsters beyond football?
Because now, like, obviously when you make that transition from football, then you go to coaching, you see so much of yourself in so many kids. Like, you see how you used to behave, how you used to talk, and how you used to, like, because they always want to impress you.
I feel like you were quite a mischievous youngster. Were you not?
I
were
wasn't.
You good?
I was more like, but then when you see kids nowadays, and you want to help them, but you also see your characters, and the one that you really get attached to is how they apply themselves.
Yeah.
They come in, they don't cause trouble. They just want they want to learn, and automatically said, I want to help you because just your demeanor as a person. And also, obviously, now that I am a father, you see the word that I use is the impact it has on them and how I can communicate to them. And also, you know, in an hour and 20, in 2 hours, in an hour and a half, they're my priority. So whatever I say to them, either impact them the good or the bad way.
Yeah. And as a father, because you've got boys playing football.
Yeah.
So how has your experience been in terms of how you coach them as a father and a coach?
Well, I'm more harder on my own
Are
children.
you?
Yes. Because I just feel like I said, the way I told them, I said, I'm not forcing you to do this. You don't have to do this because I've done it. But if you want to do it, there is no like, you have to go full on. And I'm going to help you as much as I can, but I want the same commitment from you. But don't feel like you have to do it because I do it. Because I feel like when you're doing it, when you're helping the kids do it because you've done, that's a wrong approach. I want them to come to me and say, what time are we going to train? And then we can go train. Not like me telling them where we need to train at this time. I can give them a plan and program, whatever, but it's more of them having that willpower, said, that can we go and train, and because we agree to do this stuff.
And the fact that you've had a second chance almost, is there anything that you do differently with them now, knowing that has happened to you? And do you handle things differently with your kids specifically?
Yeah, you're more, my wife will disagree with me. She's a good cop. I'm the bad cop.
She's the good cop?
Yeah, she's the one that they will go to her and then say, but then when they come to me, I just take it to extreme. Like, now you're like...
You're the disciplinarian.
I'll take it to the extreme, then and then an hour later, I'll come back thinking, well, Fab, I don't feel you didn't
soften up.
Go that way. Either you come down or you go to them and speak to them privately.
Why do you do that? What's the reason for you to be such a... Is that a cultural thing? My dad was always a disciplinarian in my house.
Because my dad is African, everything was so strict.
Yeah.
So like I feel like if I cross the line, I need to go back in very quickly.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like that was probably the way I was able to communicate with them, which is not the greatest way. But now, like, you're learning from it, because obviously you have to be very mindful of how kids intake information.
Times have changed.
So you have to be very mindful how you speak to them. So it's more of a, if I did it, if I got it wrong, maybe she'll remind us, I think you got it wrong here. I think you should go and apologize and find the middle ground. Then I'll look back and think, yeah, I think I did it wrong here. So being able to hold myself accountable is probably the big
So what you're saying is you kind of still have the foundations of your childhood and how you were brought up, but you've learned to adapt to the present times of kids nowadays.
Yeah, well, because we're dealing with a different generation.
Absolutely.
The kids are very, very, very sensitive. So you've got to be very mindful words that I use, the first expression I put it to them, because I can be he. Then I can go, don't play with me. Then
and there's a look.
Yeah.
What's the look?
I wouldn't even laugh. I just look at you like that.
But there's a look though, isn't there? I've seen that look, Fab. Let's share the look with the crowd.
They know when I look at
it. It's a scary look, trust me.
Yeah.
They just know.
They know.
My dad had the look. That's why I'm saying. I just knew. I just had to walk in the house, and if he had the look, I knew I was in trouble.
Because I can just say that I'm more than happy to laugh with you, but when I just give you
the look,
either we stop then and we go back to other things.
Amazing. Okay, so we are halfway into the interview. We're going to go back to some journaling here. So Fabrice's story reminds us that sometimes life changes without asking for our permission. So the next slide now will give you the prompts for the next section. It's only a short one, this one. And sometimes we don't get to choose the moment, but we do get to choose what we do with the meaning afterwards. So let's take a pause again and bring this back to you. And just look at the screens there. That'll tell you what the next prompt is. And with this one, we're looking a little bit deeper, pardoning the pun. At what moment in my life forced me to become stronger than I felt? So everybody's got a moment where something has happened and it's forced you to become stronger. And it obviously will be different for different people, and it will be different levels. But just think of something. Once again, don't overthink it. It's just stuff that comes to your mind initially that you want to do and you want to put down on paper. And then obviously complete the sentence I am still here, and that means. So complete the sentence. I'm still here, and that means. I'm so desperate to say blank, but it's a different show. I think I might have showed my age as well, because all the youngsters were like, what? But then the rest of us were laughing because we knew what I was talking about. So again, make sure that that answer is honest. It doesn't need to be polished, doesn't need to be perfect, just true. All right. So we're going to get back to the podcast. Fab, if you will pick another word for me, please. Trial. Okay. So you famously had to fight for your chance at Arsenal, and in the sense of that early rejection, what did that teach you about backing yourself?
Well, when I was released the first time, and I think coming from my background, I've had a taste of academy football, and that was like, this is it. Like I want this feeling, and for them to say, well, you're not ready yet, but I just wanted it more. So I really went out of my way to do as much as extra training as I could. What really helped as well is like where the training ground is to my parents' house is about 5 minutes. So I would just run there and I would do a lot of extra work just to help myself, to improve my first touch, to improve my passing. And slowly and surely, and everything started to come together. Then when I went back in, it was like, yes, we'll take you in. But that came down from me just doing a lot of extra work on myself, a lot of running, and being able to watch the game in a different way. Because when you play in Africa, we just play for the sake of playing. But when you come to Europe, it's more structured. It's more about you have to be in this position, you have to this way, and then they play me at the back. Then they felt like I'm more, because I was told I was able to move around, move in midfield. So being able to adapt and learn the game, only because I was so invested in getting better. So I was like, there's nothing can stop me here.
Did you ever have moments of doubt where, you were doing this extra work, but you just couldn't see why there was no difference?
I think when it came to like a team selection, they would pick somebody over me. Then that would really like gets me.
The look came back.
Yeah, it would proper get inside me. But then I said, okay, it's fine. I'll probably be angry for about 5 minutes. Then I'll get myself together. I said, okay, no problem at all. As long as when I get in, I need to give everything that I have. Even if I give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you mean that 15 minutes is showcase. Just go out there and just give everything you have.
When you've had those times where you have been overlooked, like what would you now tell people if they experience that, what they should do?
But what you tend to advise cases is that it's part of the journey, but also you have to embrace it, because your body language can determine if you can play or not. And also football is a team game. Yeah. So the guys that start in the first 11, that doesn't always finish the game. So you have to be prepared to yourself to your best ability, and just be prepared, because the game can start within 2 minutes. We make change, you go in. So if you are not prepared well enough yourself, you pay the price.
And I'm assuming sometimes you were amongst players that were probably seen to be more maybe naturally gifted.
Yeah.
So what's your self-talk at that time? Because you're doing something you absolutely believe in, you love it, and you can be the best. But yet the physical aspect of what you're actually experiencing doesn't quite align the same.
Yeah, but you always come up against somebody who's quicker than you, stronger than you, more talented than you. But one thing is for sure, can that person outwork me? If that person can outwork me, then fair enough, I hold my hand up, it's good. But if me within myself, I know that if I can outwork them, all the rest is.
And you always knew that?
I knew that. I just make sure that I can. If he's running 10 minutes, I'm running 15 minutes. If he's running 20 minutes, I'm running 25 minutes. I just want to have that edge of them, because from there, it will give you probably the best foundation, because you're always up against people who are stronger than you, taller than you, quicker than you, faster than you. My mindset is, if I can find the weakness, I can go a bit further than them. That would give me a chance.
And I suppose you can apply that to any walk of life, any industry,
Yes.
any experience, because it means the same thing, right?
Oh yeah, I think in any industry, you always face challenge regarding to. There's always someone out there who's put in 100% work. They want to take your position. Am I gonna cross my hands and let them do it and take my position, or I'm gonna get up and do something about it, or be a passenger, let somebody come in, take my position, move on? You have to take ownership of yourself. You have to take ownership of your career, and the best way to respond about just going after it and doing extra miles and doing individual work. You know, studying the game. How do I get better? How do the top players in the world? How do they get better? What's their routine pattern? What's that 1% that I need to add into me to give myself that advantage?
And when you were doing all of that, that all sounds very proactive and sounds like, you know, it was strategic in what you were trying to do because you were looking at who was better than you. But at what points, or were there points and moments where you were able to just reflect and recognize that where you were going was the right direction?
I think,
or did you need to pivot at any point?
I mean, whenever you make progress in football, you go from like play with the under 17. Then the next progress is to play with the under 19. Then you look back and think, wow, this is another progress. But once you get to the under 19, quicker, stronger, faster. Okay, I need to adapt myself. Then you put yourself in 4 or 5 months. Then you move to the reserve. Technically quicker, stronger than you. And when you move to the first team, that's when you realize, wow, there's this level to this. Because once you in the first team, don't expect they expect you to know everything. They expect you to actually have like 80% of the stuff sussed out. When you go to that level, if you make a small mistake, you pay the price for it. So you have to really get to the mindset of, I need to adapt here as quickly as possible, and I need to also be a good student. But when you get into that environment, don't go in a point that I need to go and show them off, because they already know you're good enough to be there.
Yeah.
Now, are you good enough to actually stay there?
Yeah.
That's a whole complete conversation, and that takes a whole new level of mentality in terms of like my day-to-day stuff, what I eat, what I take. And also, like, when you're in that level, training session is literally like an hour. That's it. And I mean, 50 minutes warm-up and 45 minutes, an hour, and that's maximum. Because it's so intense, because they want to make sure that you're ready for the game on Saturday. And they require you to come with your best version every single day.
And you did more than that, so.
I just knew that, like I said, and for me, it was always what my dad told me. I said, if you're going to do this, do it properly.
Properly, yeah.
There's no point you go in there and kia, like you're some joker. And I say this to my to my sons, like,
it's a technical term, that, by the way.
don't go play football. I don't want you to be seen as the joker. No. You're here to make a difference. And you're here to do well. Don't go in there. If everything is a joke to you, don't call me.
Bother.
Don't waste my time. So if you're gonna go in there, do it properly, apply yourself, and we'll see what happens.
Love that. Such real inspirational words there, Fab. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Can we pick another word?
Oh my God.
Borrowed. Do you feel that you live differently now because of how quickly your life changed?
I'm just grateful and thankful that since everything has happened, I'm able to give a second chance to live life again, to be able to spend time with my family and be able to travel. And obviously, when you're physically strong, you're physically healthy, you don't realize how lucky we are. But then when you spend 1 day in hospital, 2 days in hospital, a week in hospital, where people you wouldn't even recognize people, where, like, your kidneys stop working for 3 weeks. Being able to get up and walk, it was just the biggest relief in the world. Just to be able to walk, you know, your kidneys stop working, so you won't be able to go to the toilet, nothing. So everything you eat and drink is just in you, and you're just bedbound. You don't realize how precious life is to you at the other side of it. That you're like, wow, you know, you can never take anything for granted.
What were your thoughts around that time? I mean, you're staring at a ceiling, aren't you?
I used to ask her, I say, why this has to happen to me? Why? But then she couldn't give me the answer, because obviously, like, she was going through it, because as my wife, it's like she's trying to be so strong, but deep inside of me, I was more very selfish, because I was like, why? And I was very moody, and like, you're like, why? And I woke up in the morning, she come and see me, and I'll speak briefly to her, and you're thinking, that's the big question I was asking. Why this? Why did something to somebody? So this happened to me, and you ask so many questions that you're like, you know. But then when you start to get better, you're very thankful that you had an amazing team, amazing team that looked after me for my time in hospital.
And I know you're getting a bit emotional.
No,
I don't mean for you to be emotional. But you just said there that, you know, you're really grateful.
Yeah.
But do you now feel the pressure of kind of having to live every moment that you have as if it's your last, just because of what you've experienced?
I think for me now, it's more of enjoyment than anything else, because once you get to the other side, Deepa said to you, once you're on the other side, it's completely different. Like my idea is to go to hospital Monday, Tuesday, I come out. When you're in hospital for 4 weeks, everything seems to look like this is my house, but it's not. But this is just like, you wake up, you wear that long dressing gown, and you walk around, you become in your normal, but you don't appreciate the day-to-day of just being able to get out your house, come home, see your family, spend time with your children, your nephew, your cousin. You don't appreciate that to your on that other side, and you realize how much a little thing that we take for granted would affect you. So for me, it's more of a just enjoy it, make the most of it.
And this might sound strange, but, you know, I'm sure when people hear your story, because obviously you have such a huge platform of supporters, and people would most likely say, you know, it's a miracle. Does that you've got a miracle life, like, does that weigh heavy sometimes?
Nah, I think for me, I'm grateful that I had the best medical care that day.
Because the whole football fraternity, the nation were all behind you.
Not just the nation, but if you look at when it happened, I had 2 doctors from Bolton, 2 doctors from Spurs, which makes it 4. Okay, you have an ambulance which is a yard away from me, and that was 4 crew, which makes it 8. And you have a cardiologist in a stand who had nothing to do with me, makes it 9. What's the likelihood that will happen in everyday life? So when it happened, they did an amazing job. Took me from the pitch to the ambulance, and from the ambulance straight to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, it's almost like everything was ready, and they just did what they had to do.
The universe just aligned everything, ready.
You could just say that, you know, the big man knew, say, listen, my son's not going out.
He's not going yet. He's not ready.
No, not right now, no.
No, because he's got to do the Think Deepa podcast, exactly. So he's definitely not going anywhere.
He said, I have to come here, so hey, here we are, you know. So, you know.
Please pick your final word.
Silence.
When people tell you about what happened in that stadium, does it ever feel like they were describing somebody else and not you?
No, you know what, like everybody...
Because you obviously don't remember it, clearly.
No, but I only see the picture.
Did you watch it back?
I've seen it back before.
Have you watched it just once? Were you able to? How did you feel when you watched it?
Almost in disbelief, like that's really happened, that's really me.
Yeah.
And everybody has a recollection where they were when the accident happened. People tell me I was here. This person told me I was in a pub. This person said I was driving. I heard on the radio. So I'm more of a just a lot of good things come the back of it, and I'm very thankful for that. You know, I don't. And you see how over the years, things have happened to footballers on the pitch, and because of what happened to me, the strictness and the condition that everybody, the Football Association have put in terms of making sure having a accessible, access to the player to come in and out of the ambulance and having doctors and defib nearby. Not that I started it, but I think
you paved the way for it. Though.
What happened to me, I almost educated that the importance of doing CPR. As much as people laughed at Vinnie Jones' advert mouth to mouth, stay alive, stay alive.
Yeah.
Stay alive was the one that actually helped me to recover. So as much as we're doing it as, in a more serious way, but that pump to me, it almost helped me to get, that helped me to get back up as well.
And I know people kind of talk about the 78 minutes because that was the thing, right? Yeah. 78 minutes, you're not here, you know, your heart stopped. But the reason why I chose silence as a word was because what was the silence like afterwards? Because once you'd come back and then you were told you couldn't play, what was that like?
Being told that you're not going to play football, that was hard. It was hard. Because to me, I'm like, it's not like I was a bad footballer. I think I was a decent footballer. But to be told that,
very modest one.
Like, to be told that this is it for you, you're like, really? You're almost like in disbelief, because like, and the thing that came to conclusion is like, it's not like, it's something that a decision was made because it's an accident that I didn't have no control of. If it was like I broke my leg or anything else, then you can understand that. This is something bigger than me, where it's an internal, and I can't control how my body reacts to it. So it's more of a just accept the fact that this is it. You've had an amazing run. You leave most boys' dream to play in the Premier League, to become a footballer. And it just, the best way I describe it to people, the way I describe it to people is it's more like, it's like when you're driving a car. And once you reach a dead end, there's only one thing that you do, is turn around and move to a different direction. And for me, I reached a dead end earlier than expected. So I had to come off the car and start to walk in different direction. And that's what I take as like, it's just like, it happened. Accept the fact that you had a good run of it. Enjoy life now. Do something different. Give back to what you need to give back, and just make the most of every day, really.
What's the hardest thing here? What has been harder to survive? The moment your heart stopped, or the moment you realised your old life couldn't be the same?
When you stop, you don't have no control of. People ask me like, oh, when you fell down, did you see anything? No, I didn't. I don't see anything. I was gone.
Did you transport yourself above you and watch all these people?
I didn't see nothing. So like, it's like.
Did you go anywhere?
No, there's nothing. I couldn't tell you what's happening, And my only recollection is like when I see the picture of me being taken out, that's all I remember. But beside that is, I was completely gone. But that's probably the one that you're thinking, I was out of it, really. I'm really out of it. So yeah, that's the hardest part.
Thank you so much, Fab. That was such an inspirational talk. Wasn't it amazing? So, tonight Fabrice's story has reminded us that life can change in a moment. But it's also reminded us that a moment does not get to define the whole story. Passport asks us where we come from. Trial asks us what we had to prove. Silence asks us what charged us and changed us. Borrowed asked us how we treat the time we have. And Pulse asked us who we are without the title. Blueprint asked us what we are building from here. So whatever you wrote tonight in your journals, don't leave it in the journal. Like I said, live it, honor it. Do one thing this week that reminds you that your life is not something to delay, dismiss, or take for granted. If you're watching this at home on this episode, please like, subscribe, and make sure you follow, and make sure you tell everybody else about this podcast. Thank you, Fabrice, for bringing your honesty, your wisdom, and your story into the Think Deepa room. Until next time, are you ready to think deeper? Thank you, everyone.